lay low. In addition to that, Mr. Williams told Mr. Copeland's with the police. Hours after the killing of Mr. Donovan Thomas, Mr. Copeland goes to the police department. Mr. Williams is the person who told him to go. Mr. Copeland said, what do I do? They're shooting at my house, at my family's house, at my significant other's mother's house. And Mr. Williams said, if you had anything to do with the murder, get out of here. Mr. Copeland denied it. And Mr. Williams said, then go tell the police. Mr. Copeland said, you want me to go to the police? And Mr. Williams said, if you had nothing to do with it, they think you did it, go to the police. In addition to that, Mr. Copeland said, well, I'm going to retaliate. Mr. Williams told him, don't do that. Let 12 handle. That's on recordings. That is on recordings on January 11th of 2015 with Detective Thorpe. Your Honor, as far as Dwayne Carter, a performer known as Lil Wayne, Mr. Williams had no conflict with him. They are friends. We were presenting evidence that right before this shooting of the tour bus is April 26th of 2015. Mr. Williams is performing in New Orleans area. Then that's the area where it's Holly Grove, where Mr. Carter, or Lil Wayne, a performer known as Lil Wayne, comes from. And in order to drum up popularity and interest, people get on the internet and they start what's called rap battles, arguments, feuds. That's what happened here, and you would have heard testimony from Mr. Williams' management that they said, start a rap battle. It'll be better for your career. Mr. Dwayne Carter is aware of that. Mr. Dwayne Carter is interviewed. The state's aware of this. He has interviews after this. Are you mad? What's the real deal with Jeffrey Williams? He states, no. He's great with me. He brought popularity to me. He loves me. He idolizes me, and I love working with him. They did an album together. In 2014, they're in the studio together, making music together. It is all made up that Mr. Williams is involved. Mr. Williams gives a statement. The state refuses to put it in and then stop me, the previous judge, from cross-examining the detective. His name is Racy. He met with Mr. Williams in the DeKalb County Jail on the 15th day of July 2015. Mr. Williams is arrested that day. And there's a long interview. And Mr. Williams waives his right to counsel. He tells them, I'm his lawyer. They say, you don't want to speak to us? You don't have to. He said, well, I'll speak with you. And they asked Mr. Williams these questions. What about Lil Wayne's shooting? He said, it was outrageous. I love him. That's my idol. I love Lil Wayne. How about this battle? He says it's promotion. They asked him about his rap lyrics. It's the only person that the state ever did anything about rap lyrics with. And they asked Mr. Williams, what about the rap lyrics? And he tells them, it's hyperbole. He didn't use that word. He used the word, it's made up. It's rhyming. It's made up. Not like the state is saying that I rap lyrics for real. That's not even Mr. Williams' utterance. Your Honor, the point I'm trying to make to you is what the state of Georgia has presented to this jury in this courtroom the past year has been full of untruths, and they know it. The state says that Mr. Williams had a conflict because he named an album with Dwayne Carter, and Dwayne Carter didn't like that. Dwayne Carter's interviewed. He said, that was one of the nicest things anyone could have done to me. It shows how much he really appreciates me. It shows respect and honor, and I appreciate what he did. The state knows this. With regards to Jimmy Winfrey, what the state did is they put in a recording. It's not Mr. Williams. It's a jail recording, Mr. Winfrey and an unknown person. And an unknown person says, when you get out, you're going to get a Porsche and $250,000. Mr. Williams not privy to that. The state looked at all of Mr. Williams' bank records, everything. They undressed him financially. There's zero evidence Mr. Williams did anything for Mr. Winfrey. The state tells you that Mr. Winfrey asked for money for a lawyer. The conversation was, and it's recorded, it was with Mr. Williams' manager. And Jimmy Winfrey said, I need to show that I was gainfully employed for the court. Can you get me something from YSL? And the manager said, yeah, if we have it, and if it's true, yes, you can have it. That is it. There's no evidence that Mr. Williams paid for anybody's lawyer, Mr. Winfrey or otherwise. In addition to that, Your Honor, the social media postings with Mr. Rashawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. So Mr. Williams, the state tells Mr. Bennett on social media, I would have killed you if I didn't like the way you take care of your mother and children. That is the post. What they don't tell you is Mr. Bennett, who is also, to his credit, trying to drum up his career. Mr. Bennett is picking on Mr. Williams, who's a much higher profile artist than Mr. Bennett at that time. And Mr. Bennett is saying that he slept with Mr. Williams' fiancée, while Mr. Williams and she are a significant couple, that Mr. Williams' music is awful. Nobody should listen to his music ever. Mr. Williams responds by saying, we can do an album together if you want. Stop this. The man continues of how he's sleeping with Mr. Williams' significant other, and then Mr. Williams responds by saying, I would have killed you except for what you do. That is the context that they don't tell you about. And Mr. Williams did nothing to Mr. Bennett. In fact, the evidence would have shown, if we had time or we would have gone forward, that Mr. Bennett and Mr. Williams are on the red carpet receiving awards in California, sitting right next to each other and taking photographs. This is not the Jeffrey Williams is a known person who is all over the place. If he did something, somebody wanted him, they can find him. This is not he is not hanging out on Cleveland Avenue. What the state is saying are not true. The situation with Mr. Bennett, so he's in the Fulton County Jail, and he's housed, and there are crazy, sick, violent people, and they're on the phone, and Mr. Myrick, M-Y-R-I-C, is calling other people, supposed co-conspirators. How much will Jeffrey Williams give? He doesn't say that, but that's the theme of it, as well as Christian Eppinger. What the state doesn't tell you is that when Mr. Sumlin is asked, hey, find out how much Thug will pay me to kill Mr. YFN Lucci, Mr. Sumlin says, I don't know his number. I can't get in touch with him. He doesn't talk to me. And that's because, Your Honor, since 2015, and he means no insult, but Jeffrey Williams has had zero contact with Shannon Stillwell until this case, Kenneth Copeland, Demikian Garlington, Justin Cobb, Demise McMullen, Mr. Sledge, Mr. Murphy, all these people. This is a lie. This is a 100% lie, and that's why we tendered a no-low plea to being a leader of a criminal street gang. Mr. Williams is not a leader. In fact, if it would go forward, on Mr. Huey's phone, there are conversations with Mr. Copeland. And they both say how Jeffrey Williams is a zero, and F him. And they don't talk to him, and Jeffrey Williams never does anything for them. Mr. Huey, Mr. Williams met later. He met him closer in the time of 2020. Mr. Huey's father went through a horrible episode that Mr. Williams knew, and that's how Mr. Williams knew his son, who's Mr. Huey. And Mr. Huey's on hard times, and Mr. Huey's making mistakes. And Mr. Huey, supposedly, Mr. Williams believes, armed robbed a man named Chandler Durham, D-U-R-H-A-M. Mr. Durham is Mr. Williams, he's a fabulous record engineer. And Mr. Williams states, give him back, tell him to give back the property or he's going to die. The state puts that as an overt act. No one dies, and the property doesn't get returned. Mr. Huey ignores Mr. Williams. The state told you today that Jeffrey Williams sent Mr. Huey a posting that Mr. YFN Lucci is going to be performing on January 19, 2020. That's not true. Mr. Huey sent that to whoever phone that was, and all it says is slat and slatty. Well, I went out to the places that Mr. Bennett was supposed to perform. There's no shooting. There was no fight. There was nothing to report. There's nothing here. In addition, the state says same thing on September 2nd, 2022 on Mr. Huey's phone. I'm not conceding that was Jeffrey Williams even having a conversation with him, but even if it was, it doesn't show anything. It says slatty, lay low. Lay low means don't do anything. Get out of the way. That is what it is. That is Mr. Williams' role. Mr. Williams, there is evidence in the record, and there would have been more. He takes people on tour with him. He takes people in the mall with him. But when they do crime or do things to people, for instance, there was a prostitute, and several people gave that prostitute money, $500. And the prostitute, at the end of the $500, getting $500 from several people, had sex with a person, and then she was armed robbed. So all the money came back. Mr. Williams wasn't involved in that, but he heard about it. He made those people find the prostitute and repaid her every dime. People stole from stores that Mr. Williams found about. He went to the stores and he repaid all that. He didn't steal anything. He doesn't need to steal anything. Your Honor, Mr. Williams stands with Elton John. Elton John called Mr. Williams the next coming of John Lennon. Mr. Williams is unbelievable talent. He's not just a rap artist. In fact, when he's interviewed in 2017, he gives a statement and he says, I had to learn rap. He grew up in a house learning other forms of music. He likes all music. But rap hit in his community. And his community raised him. They supported him. They came out to him. They made him get into establishments. And once the establishment saw all the people come out, he got more establishments. And then he went out of that little area in Atlanta to other parts of Georgia and then to all the neighboring states and throughout our country. And he has performed on every continent but one. He has performed in front of being the headliner, 300,000 people at one time. He has a real life and career. He is not the leader, and he is not worried about buying jewelry that is stolen. Mr. Williams is actually innocent. I'm not trying to corrupt our plea. That's his plea, and he's entitled to it, and he wants it, and he embraces it. But to me, this is a wrongful prosecution. This is outrageous.
All right, so you're pleading guilty, or your client is pleading guilty to counts 57 through 62.
It's all true.
Do you
yes,
concede
there's a factual
there's a factual basis for those counts?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. All right, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. And Your Honor, I'll answer any of your questions, but the point I'm trying to make is 45 years to serve 25 years in prison, when just this morning it was a probationary offer. It was a probationary offer. The state knows, but they want to control. They have this theory of music, and they want to stop Mr. Williams from making music, from entertaining, just stop his life. That's just not right. And it's wrong of the district attorney in Fulton County to do that. If they offer probation, then he's not a 45 to serve 25 years in custody type of person, and he's certainly not the person that the state has stated in front of the court. What we're asking, Your Honor, on count one, which is the Rico count, to accept the nolo contendere plea. Please sentence Mr. Williams to 20 years to serve 5 years in prison commuted to time served. Mr. Williams has served, as I said, 22.5 years. On count 56, Your Honor, That's the leadership of a gang. Nolo plea, 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, consecutive to all other counts. On count 57, which is a gang count, Your Honor, not a leader, guilty plea, 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. With regard to count 58, which is possession of, I believe it is marijuana with intent to distribute, 10-year sentence on probation, concurrent with count 1. On count 59, which is violation Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of codeine with intent to distribute, 5 years on probation, concurrent with count 1. On count 59, Your Honor, which is violation Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of cocaine, 3 years on probation, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years of probation. It's a firearm count, consecutive to the other counts, consecutive to before count 56. And then count 62, 10 years to serve, commuted to time served. That should be a total sentence, Your Honor, that we are respectfully requesting the court to consider. I believe it's 45 years to serve 5 years in prison, commuted to time served, 40 years on probation, credit for the time already served and community time served. As I said, after 3 years of probation, the probation becomes non-reporting, and after successful completion of 10 years on probation, the balance of the sentence be terminated. Mr. Williams asked the court for house arrest for 3 years as part of the sentence, but house arrest specifically defined that Mr. Williams will be in his home or at any lawful employment, touring, studio, performance, business meetings, and the like. Wear an ankle monitor for the first year and pay the costs of same, and the company must be approved by probation department, and the ankle monitor to be affixed within 10 days of hopeful release from custody. As Mr. Williams cannot possess a firearm, but he can be around licensed security who are armed or other persons who are lawfully carrying a firearm with a license, and that would be knowingly for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams can transfer probation outside the state of Georgia. He has residences in the state of California. He has studios in the state of California. Mr. Williams be allowed to travel throughout our country and the world for lawful work-related industries. Mr. Williams wants to perform. He's going to do this anyway, Your Honor, but we made it part of the sentence. At least one concert each year at a venue, if they'll have him over holding 10,000 people, if that is workable for the venue and Mr. Williams' management, and he is going to donate all of the profits that he makes to a 501c3 charity. Mr. Williams wants to pledge $100,000 for the next 3 years to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office if they will hold an illegal firearm buyback to buy back firearms that are not supposed to be on our streets. Mr. Williams does not wish to go near the Cleveland Avenue area, not to insult that area at all, but it is just not a good idea under this circumstance. And he can drive on the highway, but otherwise not come within 1 mile of the area that we call Cleveland Avenue, and we can give the exact dimensions of that area. Mr. Williams must perform 100 hours of community service per year for the next 3 years as designated by probation department. Mr. Williams can associate, and this was agreed to previously, with people who are convicted felon or alleged gang members solely for lawful purpose of making music.
All right, I see Ms. Love shaking her head, and I think it's fair to establish that until the entirety of the negotiations were agreed to, it was all up in the air.
Sure.
That may have been something y'all had already hammered out, but it wasn't, it's not anything they're bound to.
Absolutely.
Fair? Okay.
I agree with that. Mr. Williams can have no contact with any of the supposed victims, and there was an Exhibit A attached to the state's proposed plea agreement, negotiated plea agreement that was sent to you, so we adopt that Exhibit A, but we can give it to the court if you need those names. And Mr. Williams have no contact with any of the co-defendants in this indictment, with the exception of Mr. Quantavious Greer, that is his biological brother, as well as Mr. Sergio Kitchens. He's a phenomenal artist. He goes performer known as Gunna, G-U-N-N-A. Mr. Williams and Mr. Kitchens are contractually obligated, and they frequently perform music together. Your Honor, any other conditions that this honorable court deems appropriate? I want to thank the court for all your time. Always, I want to thank Ms. Percival for everything she has done. I want to thank Mr. Williams for allowing me to stand with him. And I really never thought we would be here, but this is his decision. I want to thank the Honorable Keith Adams, who may want to speak, Your Honor, but I can never imagine a better lawyer than Keith Adams.
Mr. Adams, do you want to add anything to the record?
Your Honor, I don't know that there's really much to add. Mr. Steele has represented to the court, I think fully and thoroughly, the breadth of our knowledge of the case, Mr. Williams' background. I think the court has not just heard it from Mr. Steele, but has had the opportunity to sit here and hear some of the evidence and kind of get a feel. You've had a chance also to observe Mr. Williams and then get a feel for him, his background, and so forth. You know, the only thing I can say about Mr. Williams that hasn't been said is that he comes from an area. You might have heard throughout the course of the trial that there was an album, a concert tour. We came from nothing. And that is true. Mr. Williams came from, you know, I hate to use the word abject poverty, but that really is the case. Came from an area where there was a significant amount of crime, where, as you've heard, he's had tragedy in his life and has observed tragedy in his life, and he has gone through a good bit. He has been involved in a lot, but he has raised himself up. He has done the best he could and has done phenomenally well, and is, I think, an inspiration to a lot of people from that community who look to him and see the success that he has gained and have been fully supportive of him. But he finds himself here. He is in front of you. He is tendering this plea because he accepts responsibility. You have heard everything Mr. Steele has had to say. I can only ask that you follow what we have put before you. You also have, I believe, the paperwork that was given to you by the state, which kind of gives you some idea of what they were looking for as well in terms of conditions on Mr. Williams if we were to have reached some sort of agreement. And we ask that if you feel that there is anything within the state's proposal that might be appropriate in terms of a sentence for Mr. Williams, that the court please feel free to do that. There is nothing that he puts himself before the court. And I think 2.5 years sitting, going through this process, challenging the process, but now standing before you and asking that you consider everything and sentence him appropriately in the way that we've requested. I'd simply ask you, I join Mr. Steele and Mr. Williams in asking you to do the same. And I thank you as well, as Mr. Steele did, for your patience with us and for bringing some order to the proceedings that candidly was needed. So that's all I have to say. I thank you again, and I ask you to consider everything that's been put before you.
All right, Mr. Williams, is there anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, you know, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, you know. My managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just like, you know, having so much time invested into this, you know. And I am a smart guy. I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, you know. I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, you know, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad, and it don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, you know, fall on you. And I know the choice is yours, it's up to you, and I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a, you know, bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. You know, I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, you know. I'm sorry to the sheriff, you know, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, you know, and I just hope that you find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, you know, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late, and maybe it was because I was, you know, probably on drugs or anything, I don't know, but I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I am a good guy, you know. I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that, you know. I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity. And I did like 2 or 3 shows that made like $700,000 a piece, and I gave it to the breast cancer organization. Like, you know, I do things like I put millions of dollars back into my community for real. I really did. I did more than anybody ever did from my side, you know. But I understand, you know, rap lyrics. I understand how it could be twisted. I understand what it could do to the mind of people. I understand all that, and I promise you I'm 100% changing that, you know. It's just, I'm older, I'm grown now, you know, and it's just like, I'm smarter, it's more things to rap about. Like, I've experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And anyway, I can go forever.
Well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you do realize how much of an impact you have on people. I mean, it's past your neighborhood. It's worldwide, especially young people. And having come up from where you came up from and living in and around that, you know that gangs are damaging to our community. And it may be that a whole lot of rap music and the rap industry is, I mean, honestly, it sounds like a modern day version of kind of WWE wrestling that used to be on television, where people would just get up and posture and act like they hated each other. And it may be that that's a lot of what is going on in the music industry with rap. But whether it is fake or not, it has tremendous impact on kids and young people who think this is cool. This is what I want to do. Look at him. He's a millionaire. I can do that by being, a gangster in the streets. And that's not true. What you're likely to have happen to you if you're a gangster in the streets is you get shot, you get killed, or you get thrown in prison. And those are, by far the most likely outcomes. And, you've been in here watching the trial, and you've seen the pictures of Mr. Ryan posing with a gun as big as he is at 15 years old and going out and shooting and killing another teenager. And that's what gangs do, and that's unfortunately a lot of what rap music does. And if you are a modern day John Lennon, he might have rapped too in this day and age. I don't know, but I know you're talented, and even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go, and that there are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. And, I know that happens for protection sometimes, but a much better way would be getting an education and hanging around with people who set a good example. And you be one of those people that sets a good example. All right, so that's my high horse on that. I could also go on. But I want you to try to be more of the solution and less of the problem. All right? All right, so it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the Rico count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration and crafting my sentence. And in permitting a nolo plea to the Rico count and one of the two gang counts, I would not be permitting the nolo to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged. I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years to be probated, and a $25,000 fine. On count two, the sentence is 5 years to serve, commuted to time served. That's the minimum sentence that's permitted on that count. It is required to be run consecutively. I'm going to run it consecutive to count one, but I am going to backload. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not commuted. That is 5 years to serve, and it's going to be run consecutively to count one, backloaded, by which I mean after you serve your 15 years of probation, if you have been successful on that probation, and I sincerely hope that you are, then at the end of that 15 years, I will commute the entire rest of any service portion of your sentence to time served. So I'll get to the end of it and give you the total sentence, but I'm also going to impose a $15,000 fine with regard to that count. Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated, concurrent with count 1. Count 58, 10 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, concurrent with count 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. 60, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years to serve, that is required to be also a consecutive sentence, so that's going to be run consecutively to count 56 and backloaded. Count 62, 10 years to serve, also required to be served consecutively, that's going to be consecutive to count 61, also backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served. You are to remain on reporting status for the first half of your probation, active reporting for the first 7.5 years of your probation, and that is pursuant to OCGA 17-10-1, subsection 2, A2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here?
Stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation.
What good cause? What do you mean?
Can I have a second, Your Honor?
Sure.
Let the judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You had enough time to talk with your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. All right, special conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change, but you can look that up anytime to figure out what that is. For the first 10 years of your probation, subject to the following exceptions, you are permitted to be in the metro Atlanta area to attend any wedding, funeral, or graduation from high school, college, or graduate school of any of your immediate family members. And immediate family members is defined the same way that you all were contemplating it when you were negotiating. You can get here up to 24 hours prior to any such event, and you need to leave within 48 hours after any such event. In addition, during each year of your probation, I'm going to require that you come to the metro Atlanta area and make a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year, each year of your probation, at a grade school, a middle school, a boys or girls club, anything like that, that type of group. And if you want to, that presentation can include a benefit concert, and these presentations may count towards your required community service hours, which I'm going to impose, that during each year of your probation, you perform 100 hours of community service. You are, and this is required by the fact that there's a gang conviction. You shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of any criminal street gang. Exception to that, if your brother is a member of any street gang, I hope you talk him into getting out of it. Quantavious Greer, and then also Sergio Kitchens, as long as you are contractually obligated to him. That is going to include anybody who is named in this indictment. except as absolutely necessary to conduct the lawful business of your musical career, and to any extent that the state is not agreeing to the exception for Mr. Kitchens, in the event that that part is not enforceable because it is only a portion of a special condition, going to provide that that be severable from the rest of this, and I'll put some case cites in the Senate sheet for that. You are in no way to promote any criminal street gang or any criminal street gang activity, including on any social media platform. You are not to utilize any hand signs, terminology, or language that promotes any criminal street gang. You are not to participate in any criminal street gang activity. You are not to knowingly engage in any contact with any of the victims that are listed in this indictment or with any of their family members. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm because you're going to be a convicted felon. And that is, except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be within arm's reach of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with. You are to submit to random drug screens and not use any drugs unless they are prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You are to execute a Fourth Amendment waiver that will permit the search of your person, residence, vehicles, and electronics for any firearms, any criminal street gang paraphernalia, or any illicit drugs. And as I mentioned with regard to one of the first of your co-defendants from this trial, at least since I've been involved, to plead guilty, our Uniform Superior Court rules instruct and provide that it is absolutely proper for a judge to grant leniency in sentencing when, quote, the interests of the public and the effective administration of criminal justice are served, unquote. And I think that this plea is in the interest of the public and in the interest of effective administration of justice. Have been trying to ensure that to the extent I can, this trial also abides by that. It's been challenging at certain times. I find your plea to be freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered with an understanding of the consequences, and I accept it as such. I also need to inform you that your attorneys were going to represent you through either the last day of this term of court or 30 days from now, whichever is later, and any of the filings that were mentioned that need to be filed within that time, they would file on your behalf unless they are permitted to withdraw from representing you before that time. I am not going to impose the conditions suggested by your counsel about the benefit concerts and the donations to the sheriff's office, but I certainly strongly encourage you to do those things and to do and continue to do things that benefit your community and especially help young people to stay out of criminal trouble. And unless there is anything from counsel other than that.
I have one matter, Your Honor.
Okay, and does the state as well?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, with regards to Mr. Williams being permitted to come to the Metro Atlanta area
Yes.
or Cleveland Avenue area for funeral or the other items,
Right.
can you also consider, God forbid, there's a serious medical condition of a person that
In
is,
his immediate family, certainly, we can add that. And I also meant to mention, because I know you do travel all over in order to pursue your career, that it's permissible for your probation to be transferred to out of state, and that has to be done through probation, but that is fine with the court. And you may also keep your, nobody's mentioned it, but keep your passport and travel out of state and internationally to the extent that you need to do that for business purposes as well. All right, Mr. Vadi.
Yes, just very briefly, and thank you. The district attorney just wanted me to urge the court, due to the fact that the Thomases have been negatively affected incredibly traumatically by what has been discussed by both parties here today, to make a brief statement as she believes that they fall within the exception or within the bounds of Marcy's law, if the court would allow. I understand the court made a ruling earlier as it relates to that, but she wants
All right, thank you, and I appreciate, well, I cannot even begin to understand what they must, anybody must be going through when they lose a family member to violence or criminal violence. Mr. Williams himself has expressed his own sorrow to the family. I, again, am going to stand by my belief that the appropriate time to hear a victim impact statement from them is at the close of the trial that contains the murder count with regard to their family member.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, court is adjourned. Good luck to you. And I'm going to have there better be no violations, but if there are any, you're coming back to see me.
No.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, yo, Thug done beat it.
But the
Hey,
since the-
yo.
First of all, Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell are expiring today. We will go off to the record.
Let's take a recess, and I'll be back.
Okay, now they done took a recess, right? They done took a recess because they going to come back and do the other people, man. It got crazy, man. It got crazy. It got crazy. It got crazy. Thug done got out. Boy, the man was facing the elbow, man. He gave it back, man. Thug gave it back, man. He was facing life. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. You just got to respect the game, man. Appreciate it. Bro got back. Hey, man. Hey, bro got back. You got to respect the game, man. Thug beat him. He beat him. Ain't too many people think he was coming home, man. And I said it. Bro got to take this plea. I said it. I said he has to take this plea. If they come with a plea of 5, he better take it. But the lawyers worked out the deal with the probation, and it was the best thing for him, man. What y'all think about that? Do y'all think he made the best decision in this situation? Because I don't think it was no other way. You hear me? And some people say they feel Thug should have went all the way with it. Now, let's be real. These people had a mountain full of evidence against Thug. It was heavy. You hear me? And for them to come to this man and tell him they're going to give him time served and allow him to go home, you better understand that was the best thing for him to do. Hey, yo. SBGB TV, what's happening?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? I just wanted to talk about that young Thug case. Yo, that's crazy. I didn't think he was coming home. I'm one of the people that didn't think he was coming home.
Seriously, you thought he had no chance?
Yeah, I think they gonna let him come home on no nickel, though.
They let him come home on time served. They gave him 5 suspended for time served. Now he got to do 30-something years of probation or 15 years, and then they're going to suspend the rest of it.
30 years on probation at home is different than 30 years in the Bing.
Anytime.
And I didn't think he was gonna come home, but it makes sense. It's election time. They trying to make sure, Atlanta is Georgia's one of the states they trying to waiver. So it might make
Ooh.
sense to bring a public figure home around election day in 5 days.
So you think them letting Thug come home is going to get the people to vote for Kamala?
I don't know who they trying to get to vote for, but it sways the vote. Because now he might come out like, man, go vote, man. The justice system did me good. It didn't do me bad.
Ah. Hey, listen.
You hear me?
I think they had no choice though in the situation because they were gonna lose.
Yeah, but they might have was going to lose, but they still could have roofed him.
Yeah, he was looking at life, and that's the crazy thing. In that situation, do you feel he took the best deal?
Yes, especially if he was fighting the elbow.
Okay.
He got it. If you fighting the elbow, I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna give you 20 years, and you might be able to get away with 5. Man, you gotta take it. I did it. Yeah, give it to me. I'll hold them charges.
That's the smartest thing to do.
That's the smart thing to. But it's not like he has to apply for a job where he can't be a felon.
He's already a millionaire.
Right. So to him, being a felon ain't nothing. He was a felon before it started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't have to go out in the world and live and try to, live a normal life because his life has never been normal and he's a millionaire. He don't got to worry about that. He can start, man, you don't want to hire me? You don't want to give me, I open up a McDonald's. I got enough money to open up something.
You know what the best thing added to him getting the Rico dismissed in this situation was for him? That he got the machine gun charge dismissed. He got the machine gun charge and all those other charges that were lingering dismissed. So hopefully he gets out and applies himself. And the judge told him he can't rep no gang. He can't rap about no gang stuff. And if he's throwing any signs up, that's a violation of his probation. He got to wear an ankle monitor for 3 years.
I'm telling you right now, SBGBTV, if I was this nigga, I'm telling you right now, I'll be somewhere where nobody's at. I want to be out there in the farmland by myself. Don't come leave me alone.
That's the best way.
I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to interact with nobody. Let the people that know me, and I know my sibling, he got 11 siblings. Man, those only people come around me.
That's it.
And if you're doing something funny, don't come around me.
And what about Gunna? You know, they were saying Gunna was telling, and he got a stipulation that he can do music with Gunna. What you think about that?
I'm not fooling with nobody.
Okay,
he gonna make a fire song with Gunna because he got to get back the money he lost in this situation. But I'm telling you right now, hey, brother, I don't want to be bothered with nobody. He got his life back.
Yeah.
He should be singing. He should be singing French right now.
Yeah.
I lost $500,000 trying to beat the feds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a situation. Now, I'm sure he spent probably like $3 million. I'm sure he spent something heavy.
Yeah, he probably spent something more than that.
Yeah. In that situation, because they was trying to take him all the way out the game, and his lawyer was putting in that real work, like for a minute.
Yeah, he got a good lawyer.
Yeah, that was like 10 months. They was in there 10 months strong, going. And it worked out. You know what I'm saying? That was a good thing for him, though.
Yeah, I just wanted to express myself, SBGB, man. Go ahead and do your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, baby.
I appreciate you calling in. Hey, man. We already know it's going to be a fire song coming with Gunna. And we all know Gunna took the plea, but Gunna didn't get on the stand. So it's like, we can say he's a rat because he admitted to the gang stuff, but he didn't get on the stand, man. So in this situation, I think Thug's going to go ahead and do the song because it's going to put him back in the loop ASAP. They want to hear Gunna And they want to hear Thug. Thug snapped, man. He snapped, man. He came off, man. He better pray to whoever he's been praying to and thank him. Because the brother really came off. And this was a situation where he could have got life. They never even offered him a plea. He never was offered a plea in this situation. And they came with a time served probation after 2.5. Man, that man got blessed. And some people saying that it was karma that he was in the situation. You think about that. People like, oh, it's karma. Now, it turned around and went this way. I wonder what they saying now. Is that karma? What is it? I don't understand. But we see, though, bro gonna be back. And I think he can't come to Atlanta for the first 48 hours because everybody's gonna be adding. We already know that. And the city of Atlanta is going crazy tonight. It's a Thursday night. Tonight, Atlanta's going to be off the hook, man. And I hope everybody in Atlanta be safe out there because it's going to be some stuff going down. What y'all think about this situation, man? Did Thug pull the big one off? Because I'm telling you, a lot of people thought he ain't have a shot. And I said from the door, I said, bro got a shot to get back. He got a big shot to get back. The evidence is out of whack. His motherfucking constitutional rights have been violated. They violated his constitutional rights heavy. So he had a lot of issues where the case could have got thrown out. But did he want to still sit through that process again? In those situations, people will take a plea deal, man. It's like that in a lot of jails. But in his situation, it was beneficial. You need to take this plea, bro. Don't gamble with these people again. They're allowing you to go home. They're giving you an out. And you know how bad they look doing this? Let's be honest. They looked real bad giving this man a plea to time served. And Donovan Thomas, Big Nut, his family wanted to speak as Thug got sentenced, and the judge denied that. The judge said, nah, I'm not going to allow a victim of a murder, a family that victim has been victimized from their kid being murdered to speak at a sentencing of someone that wasn't convicted of that crime. So the judge stood tall in this case. And we gotta be real, man. The judge really made it fair. And Thug got up there and said that. You hear me? Yo, what's good, bro? Yeah, he got time served, bro. Bro got time served, man. He going home tonight, man. He got 40 years of probation, 15 years, and then they're gonna let him off if he completes it. But he definitely got time served. It was a good situation for him, man. The judge was playing fair, man. And we got to be real. When the prosecution does things, a lot of time the judges don't play fair because they are on the same team, honestly. Even though the judge is the referee, they're on the same team. And a lot of times the prosecution do something ill and then the judge don't play fair. But in this situation, on both ends, the judge was playing fair, man. And we have to be real. She made sure she checked the prosecution when they was wrong, and she checked the defense when they was wrong. And in this situation, she was letting the prosecution know that y'all are leaving me no choice but to say it's a mistrial. So what are y'all going to do? She told him at least 4 or 5 times that I remember. Telling them listen, y'all know that y'all wasn't supposed to do this. Why are y'all doing this? Addressing them. But the prosecution continued. In this last situation when they gave that unredacted paperwork for the witness to read and he said one of the co-defendants names about him being locked up, that killed the whole situation. The judge was really about to just hand the mistrial down, and she told him, y'all better take this week to get plea deals negotiated. And they got them negotiated. They got 2 more people that they about to sentence, right? And I think that they're going to give these 2 people some time because they got murders, I think. So, especially the guy Shannon. I think it's Shannon and the Yak Gotti guy. They got murders that they were indicted for in this Rico. So, them taking pleas, I'm anxious too to see what those pleas are. And I'm probably going to play them too in a minute and see what those pleas were. But the judge is being fair, man. She know the case has been botched. You know what I'm saying? She knows it. It's been messed up. So she's just taking it upon herself to get it over with. Man, y'all better settle this, man. Y'all already made Atlanta look bad. Our justice system looks out of control. The jails look out of control. Let's just get this situation over with. What y'all think about that? He got 40 years probation, bro, but can get off in 15. Yes, sir. He got 40 years probation, but he can get off in 15. So hopefully, bro, abides by the probation and does everything he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? And she's telling him that he got to speak to the kids about gang violence and not being in the gang. So he got to do 100 hours of community service a year. He got to do some charity stuff. And when he gets released, he got to go speak to the people about the gang stuff. You know, and this is what I say about the people repping the gangs, man. Honestly, man, when they get to repping them gangs, when these judges come down, they change it. So why would you rep something that you wouldn't rep in that situation? I mean, we really got to be realistic on that, man. Why would you go out there and rep the gang when you know in the situation in the courtroom, you're going to denounce it? Come on, you're playing with fire, man. But, you know, we're going to see how this goes. You know, Thug is back out. And if he gets out there and play around with the prosecution and that probation, I'm telling you, they are going to stick it to him. So I hope bro understands. And he spoke saying about how he matured and how he's learned a lot and how much he's gave back, millions of dollars. He did a lot of speaking, but the judge said, I need action. I don't want to see you back in front of me now. This right here is the out that a lot of people in this situation wish they would have got. You hear me? So I hope bro take advantage of it and don't come with that cockiness. You come with that cockiness, that energy going to come right back to you. You're going to bring yourself right back around the people. And all the people that vanished on him, they're going to reappear. All the people. And I was just talking about the girl, Mariah, the scientist. She rode the whole 2.5 years out. She rode the whole 2.5 years out. Yeah, he can be, he can do music with Gunna. He can do music with Gunna. Only if it's business. That's the only time he could be around Gunna. That's why they ready to drop a banger. So he can be around Gunna as long as they doing music, but he can't be around no gang members. He can't hang out with nobody in the gang. Only thing he can do is business. And I hope bro don't get out there and want to start messing with the lean, popping the pills, because that's going straight taking back to the old habits. And that's major. This out right here is a big out. The world didn't think Young Thug was going to get out. You hear me? The whole entire world thought Thug was cooked. And you know, as the case went on and as the evidence came out, that's when people started saying, well, maybe he might beat it. It doesn't look like he's as guilty as they saying. And we see Thug beat it. That's a win, man. Time served and probation, when you looking at life in jail, that's beating it, man. Especially weighing your eyes. It's a lot of dudes that wouldn't have weighed their eyes and said, man, I'm going to trial. Knowing that you getting time served. You don't got no loophole. You don't got no way to beat it. Do you think Gunna and Thug good though? Because they say Gunna snitched on Thug. Hey, listen. I know Gunna took that plea, right? And the plea, he said he known intelligently and voluntarily that it was a gang and all that. But he didn't testify. Thug came home. Thug still got this man under contract, I think they still gonna do music. But you gotta understand, in a situation like this, it'll never be the same. In a situation like this, it will never be the same. It's never going back to how it was. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be strictly business because he is contracted to Thug, but it'll never be the same. We can never vibe. We can never hang out like that. And if he did, he's looking at him sideways the whole time. Life was on the line, man. You hear me? So I doubt that they're good like that, but you know, business is business. And I'm sure Thug had enough time to think, I gotta just handle the business. This right here almost took me out the game. You go from nothing to something to getting took out the game. I'm happy that bro understands, hopefully, that you was ready to mess your whole life up. And he said, this is what he says himself. He said he was too nice to people. He said, man, I was too nice to people. I gave back to my community. And you know, I mean, you can be nice to people, but you got to keep that energy away from you. You can look out for your hood, but you got to keep that energy away from you. That energy going to rub off on you. And that's what got him in this situation. That's what took it to this level. Took it to a whole nother level, whereas though you dealing with your life on the line, man. And I'm hoping the young boys that are in the gangs are paying attention to this. Like, come on, bro. Bro got it out now. Everybody's not getting that out. It's way more people in the gang that taking it this far that don't come back. We have to say Thug got extra lucky. If you call it luck or blessed, whatever you want to call it, because we can't use certain situations in this, I say, because we already know he was in the streets. You feel me? Bro got back. Bro beat the case. Claps to him. That's what's up. I respect that. I know the feeling in that situation. You hear me? I know the feeling in that situation with your life on the line and be happy to get through it. But is he going to come back on the right time? Doing the right thing? He better. You hear me? Bro got a second chance at life, and that's real. Bro got a super second chance at life, man. And there's so many people that wish they would have. It's dudes in the jail where he at now, mad that they ain't get that shot. And that's real. It's dudes in the jail right now, mad because they ain't get that shot and saying he only got it because he got that money. And guess what? They right. You hear me? In that situation, his lawyer fought. He had enough money to buy the best attorneys. And that's major. You got to have that if you want to be into that. You hear me? I'm hoping bro come back and make sure he stays strong, man. Because I love to see a story when a brother goes through things like this and he really fixes himself. You feel me? I'm one myself. You feel me? So it's like when you fix yourself, being through some serious situations that could have took you out the game of life, and you figure that it's time to fix yourself, I love to see that. That right there intrigues me. Like, yeah, come on, man. We got to make sure we tell the others to take it easy out there. When you see them going crazy, hey, yo, bro, take it easy, man. This ain't it. Instead of embracing it. You know, a lot of times people get to embracing these situations, man. And that's what happened. Thug indulged and embraced, and he got too deep. But what y'all think, though? Y'all happy for Thug, or y'all like, it's just another thug back on the street? How y'all feel about that, man? You know, some people really ain't happy that he home. I'm sure Donovan Thomas, Nuts family ain't happy he home. We gonna be real about that. Because Fannie Willis got on the news and said, I told Donovan Thomas family that I was going to get Young Thug. She said that I was going to get to it. So I'm sure his family's not happy that he home. And some people not happy. You know? Lil Woody made light out of the situation. I know Thug ain't messing with Woody. What? Because he been cut him off. And listen, those dudes that was up there testifying, right? And we gonna be real. Them dudes that was up there testifying, Thug been cut them off. You understand what I'm saying? Thug been cut them off, so they was already telling. They was bound to tell. You hear me? Yes, he about to be the hottest rapper out, especially after beating a Rico. And all these people, listen, Thug got to come home on the Rico. Little Durk and Diddy went in on the Rico. Wow. Listen to that there. Thug about to come home on a Rico, and Durk and Diddy just got grabbed on the Rico. Sheesh. Ah. Now that's ill right there. Thug is definitely about to be the hottest right now. We already know. And he gonna drop a song this week. You already know that. This week is coming. You know how some of these rappers get out of these situations and it take them months and years to drop. Thug's gonna drop something fire. And I ain't gonna hold you. I've been banging Thug before he went in the whole time. I've been banging Thug. I ain't gonna lie. He dressed funny, but he got good music. We got to keep that real. And you know, everybody want to hear that. Everybody want to hear that sound. You know, he got that distinctive sound. And niggas want to hear that. We got to be real with that, man. What y'all think, though? Do y'all think Thug and Gunna gonna do a hit, man? Let's be real. Let's be real. Do y'all think Thug and Gunna gonna do a hit, man? Y'all could call in too, man. Tell me your opinion. Don't be scared. Yeah, Florida in the building. Yeah. What you think about Thug and Gunna doing a hit? Is they gonna do a hit or what? Cause my personal opinion, I feel they gonna do a hit just because it was a lot of friction there. It was a lot of friction in that talk back and forth about Gunna snitching. So if Thug is thinking, right, man, I'm going to go ahead and do this song and get the bag, but I'm not messing with bro at all. You hear me? I'm not messing with him at all. Business. Because he still is contracted to Thug's label, YSL. So it's just business. But y'all think he going to do a hit with Gunna or what, man? Talk to me. Is he going to do a hit with Gunna, man? Because it's about to drop this week. I guarantee you. I could bet my bottom dollar on it, man. Thug is ready to turn up. Now, the judge put a lot of stipulations on Thug. And I ain't gonna lie. If Thug get out there playing with them people, they gonna stick it to him, man. And we gotta keep it a bean. They put a lot of stipulations on. He can't even throw up hand signs. You hear me? The judge said, no signs. You hear me? You can't even rap about no gang stuff. Don't rap no gang. Now, from the door, I'm sure he's going to be on point. But it's like being in a relationship. Is he going to still be the same way next year? That's what we want to see. And I'm hoping, bro, really takes this situation and understands that you got to out. You could have took yourself out the game playing around with these people, bro. And our people got to understand that, man. Our people got to wake up. We got to wake up. When you make it in life, stop playing with them like they will not take you out the game, man. And I understand, right? And I'm going to be honest. I understand in life, right? You're going to play with certain situations as you come up because you're going to take those risks. But when you reach certain levels, you can't take those risks anymore. Those risks are over. And that's just what it is. When you reach those certain levels in life, you can't continue to take the same risk, man. Because all it's going to do is put you in that situation where you wish you wasn't in. Bro need to speak to the people that are really in them situations and let them see and touch them and let them understand, bro, I almost lost my life. I got a second chance at life to let you know that this will take you all the way out the game. And when they get out of these situations, they really don't do that. They should be doing that, man. Touch back to the people in that way, like, yo, show them this is what I was going through. This is what was happening to me. You got to appreciate the situation you in. Because you can be in a bad situation, man. I mean, Thug and Gunna, though, man, what they going to do? What they going to do, man? Are they going to make the banger or what, man? Talk to me. Talk to me, man. Let me see here. Hold up. I was trying to see if I had yeah, talk to me, man. I'm gonna see if that other situation. Hold up. Yeah, man. I'm happy for bro though, man. I'm definitely happy for Thug, man. I'm not even gonna lie, because anybody in that situation, man, especially when they playing unfair. When they playing unfair, I'm happy. And we already know that that's all they do, man. We all seen this. This right here, let the entire world see. You hear me? This let the entire world see how the system does people, man. We can't turn our eye to that either, man. Us as the people, man. Honestly, man. We can't turn our eye to that, man. The system is messed up, man. And it's like after this, that Thug beat it, people won't be really addressing that situation and looking at it like, yeah, the system is messed up, man. People get treated unfairly every day because court is going on Monday through Friday every day. So people get treated unfairly every day. And it's just, this is a big situation. So the world got to see this, man. This is going on, man. So that's why it's important to stay out of there. Stay out of those situations, man. If you make it to a certain age in life and you've been through some situations and you done took some risks, stop taking those risks that you know that's going to take you out the game, man. We have to be real, man. Let's be real. You make it to a certain point, man, you don't take those same risks because all it's going to do is take you out the game. And some people don't get a restart, man. Not everybody's going to be able to get a restart, man. You hear me? And I hope bro really appreciates that he got that. Cause you know, it's some dudes that get out here and say, man, listen, I'ma beat it. And we remember he did make a song saying, take it to trial, beat it. We have to be real now. Thug made a song talking about taking it to trial and beating it. Yes. But he didn't take this situation to trial all the way. You hear me? He went to trial, but he pleaded out in the middle, man. You hear me? So I'm hoping, you know, in enough time of soberness, I'm saying, I'm sure he probably got a few things in there. Because sometimes they get things in there. And, you know, we all know that. So I'm hoping he had enough time of a sober mind to understand, listen, I'm really winning. Let me win. Because they will help me lose. Pay attention, man. We all got to pay attention to these mistakes that these big public figures make so that we don't make them. And that's why I always say it's not about the setback. It's about the get back, man. You already know that's my slogan, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah, real stuff. SBGB, you hear me? It's your baby. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Make sure you hit that like button. You know, share this video, man. Channel's growing. We almost had 3K subscribers. You know, we about to start streaming more, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. You know, y'all can call in too. We love to hear the opinion, you know. And, you know, we authentic with it, man. We pushing, building, man. And I appreciate everybody chiming in, man. Stick in there with your boy, man. Go check that merch out, too. SBGBTV.com, man. Where y'all checking in from, though, man? Where y'all checking in from out there, man? Your boy DZ, man. What y'all think? Thug gonna make a banger. We already know it, man. It's gonna be crazy. You know you already been in the cell writing. You know that. You know he been in the cell cooking. 2.5 years in, and they already said he was a booth rat. They said Thug was a booth rat. That's all he wanted to do was sit in the booth. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the only way you're going to get to the higher levels. If you take whatever you're doing that serious. So they already said he was a booth rat. Heavy in the game. In the booth. So you already know what it is. With the 3 years of house arrest, he going to be stuck in the booth for 3 years. Fire. Doing shows. Fire. But I hope he keep his mind level, man. Keep focused. And understand that you got an out that nobody really gets. Especially with a Rico. I don't know too many people beat the Rico. I'm trying to sit here and think. Irv Gotti, but they said he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. So I don't know, man. With that Rico, man, you know when they put that on you, it could get crazy. And I think Thug had this out from them putting all these people together. They put 28 people together on his indictment and they wasn't ready. You hear me? Now we going to be real with that. They had 28 people on this indictment and they wasn't ready. Well, they had evidence, but they weren't organized. They weren't organized. It was just so much excitement because they felt that they had an overwhelming amount of evidence. So the excitement overwhelmed them and they didn't present the case right. They messed the case up. So by them putting all these people together, helped Thug out. And we gotta be real. They put all these people in a bunch to trial them, to take them to trial, and it didn't work out in their favor. But it worked out in Thug's favor. Sometimes the cookie can go your way. You hear me? And that's what happened. But just know that's not gonna happen for everybody. And I know it's some young kids out there now probably looking like, it could be me. Yeah, if I get in something, I'm taking mine. Nah, it's not always going to happen like that. It's more people that fell victim to the justice system because they put themselves in that situation than got out of it. And that's just how it goes. They're shooting their basketball shots daily, and they're making a lot of them. You better know that it's a win for the prosecution for real. Now, we got to be honest. Like, we have to be real. It is a win because they got a conviction. They didn't get a life sentence, but they got a conviction. And prosecutors, that's what they work for. And it's lawyers that work for that too. It's like, if I get you a plea, I don't have to work as hard. But you know, in this situation, Thug's lawyer was working overly hard. But it's prosecutors like that. As long as I get you to take this plea, I got a conviction. Because honestly, it doesn't look like the prosecution lost on paper. You hear me? I want y'all to pay attention to that. We have to be real. On paper, it doesn't look like the prosecution lost. To the world, it does. The public eye, the eye is deceiving. But on the paper, when they go look up convictions, they got them all. Nobody got found not guilty. Pay attention to that now. Nobody. Pay attention. Nobody got found not guilty. Yes, sir.
You still on live?
I'm still on here. You got something else to say?
Nah, nothing to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, SBG.
Yeah. We in the building, you hear me? It's like Thug got a major out in this situation, man. And you gotta say, hey, man, I'm happy for bro, man. I'm always happy for bro, man. I'm excited that bro get another shot at life, man. Because not everybody gonna get that, man. And I'm hoping he take time and touch the young people that want to follow him. The young people that look up to him. Because you already know it's massive amount of people across the countries that look up to him. So hopefully let him know, like, listen, bro, you can't win this way. Because we see he didn't really win. He won, but he didn't win. They put him on probation expecting him to mess up. I want to tell you that now. And we really got to understand that. Thug was placed on probation with a 40-year probation expecting for him to go out there and mess up. That's what they're expecting. So if we give him this probation and he mess up and we get 25 out of him, we really won. So you got to think about the game now. We really have to open our eyes and think about the game. Yeah, take this probation, but you're going to be on a lengthy probation. If you make it 15 years, we'll suspend it. But if you mess up, now listen, with a 40-year probation, she probably can give it all to him. And we be honest. She probably can just give him the whole probation. Here, take this. So he has to be on point because they're banking on him messing up. Pay attention to the game, man. They're banking on him messing this up, man. And this is where your instincts got to come in when you know that they're banking on you messing up. Let me make sure I'm right, man. And I want to say, like, I've been on probation before. And then this is real. I've never violated probation because I've understood that when you get on probation, you have to abide by the rules. And that's important. You can't think that they will not violate you. If he gets out here and violates any of those conditions, I'm saying any of them, the judge is not going to be lenient on it. She's not going to hear, well, the reason why you did it. She doesn't want to hear what happened to make you do this. She's going to say, didn't I tell you if you come back in front of me, what I'm going to do? I'm not going to be lenient. Now, let's be real now. Thug has to understand that this is the biggest out anyone has ever gotten in a Rico case. I don't think nowhere in the world has somebody got this for a Rico case. If somebody knows, tell me in the chat. Because I don't know anybody that's had a Rico case that's got off like this. That was able to walk. The judge allowed young Thug to walk today. The prison, Wright Street, where he's at, is packed. I guarantee you. There's protesters everywhere. That's what you call protesters. The people are out there to support him. It's a movement. But bro, gotta understand, man, they banking on you to mess up. Play the game right, bro. They are banking on you to fail. We gotta be real, man. This situation, they are banking on Thug to fail, man. They're banking on him to mess this up. They're banking on him to play himself, man. Let's be real, man. And I hope he puts the people around him that wants him to do better. That is not with the BS. People know if you're going to get down. People know if you're about your business. You hear me? People know when you're about your business. And I'm sure they know Young Thug is about his business by now. It's no reason to have a whole bunch of people with masks and shooters around you to let people know I'm ready to get busy. Because when they pop off, now you're going to violate your probation. Pay attention to that. If Thug starts bringing these people around him and they pop off, they're going to violate his probation. Just how if something happens to somebody at one of those venues, he's liable. Probation is looking at it the same way. So he has to put the right people around him in place that's not going to encourage the BS. That's going to say, I value my freedom. I'm not getting into that. That's what he really needs. Because if he brings that energy around him that I'm ready to go to war and I'll get down if I need to, you know what's going to happen. We're going to be seeing Young Thug back in the courtroom. Let's be real. If he says, I'm going to get out here and show off and don't be mindful, we're going to see him back in the courtroom, man. I really hope we don't. I ain't even going to lie. I really hope we don't, man. I'm hoping this brother is going to be the example of a black man that understands that he got an out. Because we don't see that too much now. It's a lot of people that'll get those outs and go right back out there and taunt the public, taunt the people, letting them know like I'm untouchable, not understanding that you just got an out. You're not untouchable. It's a lot of people like that now, and we got to be real. It's a lot of people that will go back out there like they were not just in this situation. Let's be real. It's a lot of people like that now. So I'm hoping he understands that you really, really, really got an out. You got blessed. And not too many people get blessed like this, man. We have to be real. It's not a lot of people that get a blessing where they didn't even give you a plea deal. You hear me? And 10 months into your trial, they give you time served. Keep it real. Come on, man. Let's keep that real, man. Real stuff, man. Come on, man. And it's like, wow. When you think about it, man. It's like, wow. Real rap, man. I'm happy for bro, man. I hope y'all happy for him too, man. I want to see the brother get back. I'm just happy that he get back to life, man. I don't want to see nobody go out like that, man. I don't want to see nobody on the other end of the stick either. I'm not even going to lie. I don't want to see nobody in those situations, man. I wish life was just better than it was, but it's going to be the way it is because everybody's trying to live and it's financial issues through the world. That's just what it is, man. So, bro got to make sure he come back and just grind and try to show some positive stuff to the people, man. Let the people see more positive stuff than negative. We got all the negative music. We can listen to that anytime. We can go back and play that anytime. Let us see some positive. See the women having fun and some positive stuff. You know what I mean? The negative, and you know he just made a post. I'm not gonna lie. He just made a post. What was that? Like a couple days ago, last week, saying like Drake and I think Metro booming and we need to start making music again, or they need to start making music. Them two, them three. It was Drake, Kendrick, and I think Metro. Yeah, they need to start making music again. So Thug is definitely coming with them. You hear me? It's ready to be a movie, man. We already know it's ready to be a real live movie. And when Gunna get on the track, it's going to be crazy. I really think that that's probably going to be like one of the first joints he dropped with Gunna. And that's just my opinion. Just because of all the static that was going on. It was a lot of static going on with Gunna saying Gunna going to take the stand. And Gunna didn't take the stand. And it's crazy through all of this. Rich homie Quan died. That's why it's crazy. Rich homie Quan died. Lil Durk in. Young Thug about to come home. Diddy in. And guess what's happening next week? Y'all already know what's going on next week. Look at all this turbulence. A couple weeks before the big day next week. I wonder, do y'all pay attention to that? It's a lot of turbulence before the big day next week. Thug got out a week before election. Is we paying attention to this? He got out a week before election. It has to be a play to this. It has to be a play to this. Did Fonnie Willis put this play together? Thug Lawyer is the GOAT. Price just went up crazy. You hear me? Thug Lawyer is the GOAT. And we're going to keep it a bean. He's the GOAT. Killed it. Brian Steele is a household name. You hear me? This man done set the law down. You hear me? Price went up. Big facts. Yeah. But you know, we want to see Thug and Gunna though. You know what I'm saying? Because all that hype about Gunna telling, all that hype, we want to see Thug and Gunna drop something, man. I ain't gonna lie. We want to see him drop something, man. Because Gunna been dropping. And let's be real now. Let's keep it 100. Gunna has been dropping, man. And I'm not gonna lie. Gunna stuff been fire. He ain't been saying nothing to the public. But them joints that been coming out, been fire. And we gotta say that. Even though they said he told. Them joints he been putting out was fire. No cap. You hear me? Yeah. What y'all think though? Y'all think they gonna do a song together, man? Or you think Thug just gonna keep it, you are on my label and that's it? What y'all think, man? I think they gonna get together and make a banger. And that's like real. And I think it's coming this week, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know Atlanta is up tonight. Tonight, if you in Atlanta tonight, it's up. Blue Flame, Pink Pony, Magic City, Strokers. It's going to be lit out there. You hear me? It's going to be a movie out there. It's going crazy. So, y'all already know what it is, man. Thug is back. Thug is back. I mean, we already know Thug make hits. He might come out in a dress from the door, shut it off. You know what I'm saying? We already know how Thug do. He might come out with a dress from the door, drop a joint with Gunna. So it's going to bring that, you already know how Thug do. Got the game in the chokehold, man. He might come straight out in the dress with his hat on and drop a banger. I never thought the day that I would be listening to music with from Thug and the guys running around in the dress. I didn't never thought, because Thug definitely dropped bangers. I got to put the side that the man was in the dress when he made the song, right? And look at the music. I just got to be real. I got to put the side. The music is the music. Keep it real. Thug got the game in a chokehold this week. That's all you going to hear this weekend. It's Thug. Beat the Rico. Ain't too many people you know beat that Rico. Ain't too many people you know got through that situation, man. That's like known as a death sentence. Now, let's keep it real now. Let's keep it real. The Rico is known to the streets as a death sentence, man. Are we going to keep it a bean on this situation, man? Because people look at the Rico as a death sentence. Oh, he ain't never coming home. He's done. It's over. Ain't no return. That's what the Rico is, man. And we got to be real. But in this situation here, Thug gave light to the situation. But I'm hoping that people don't think that this can happen to everybody. This is not going to happen with everybody. Every situation is not going to turn out how his did. It's some people that ain't going to come home. And they got Shannon Stillwell and the dude Yak Gotti. They still got to get sentenced. So I know they not getting time served. And I think Shannon was already serving time for a body already. So I doubt they get time served. But these are the ones, I guess, that were implicated in the homies in this case. They saved them two for last, right? And we gonna see how it goes in this situation, man. But Thug is back, baby. Thug is back. The game has changed. Young Thug is back. He beat the Rico. Ain't too many people beat the Rico. Ain't too many people beat that Rico. But he said, I'm back. Is y'all happy for Thug or what, man? Let me know, man. What's good, man? Let me know. Are y'all happy for bro or what, man? I'm excited for him. You hear me? To see a brother able to get back to his grind, put it together. Hopefully, he understands the mistakes and the wrongs that he have done and correct them. And understand that I don't need to put myself in this situation because I already made it. This is what we got to understand. Thug's already made it, so we need him to understand that he's already made it. You know, on the outside looking in, we can see something different than a person going through those that's in the middle of those situations at the time. This is from the outside looking in. We see that he's made it and he needs to leave the BS alone. But I guess it makes me think, right? Is it boring being rich? This is where my mind goes. It must be boring being rich if you need to indulge in the BS. See, I've never been rich. I always had, and I always was able to provide, but I never been rich. So I'm like, is it boring? Because they all just, what are they doing? Come on, man. What are they doing, man? Come on, man. Bro gotta respect that he got it out. Appreciate that he made it through. Respect the game. And come back doing the right thing, man. I wish our people would understand when you do get outs like this to appreciate it, man. Because we seen his brother. His brother got it out and got probation. And got right out there and got caught with a gun. I think his name, what was his name? What was his brother's name? I forget his brother's name. He had a brother that got caught with the gun after he took the plea to probation. And the judge gave him, I think, 9 to 10 years. Like, this is what I'm saying about our people. We have to understand when you got an out. That's important. If our people will understand that, we'll be able to correct some of the things. But a lot of people think that they can go back out there and do it a little differently. And let's be real about that. There's some people that get it out on the situation, get through the situation, and think that maybe I should go back out there and I'll keep it over here this time. I got caught with it over here, but maybe this time I'll keep it over here and I won't get caught. And we got to eliminate that way of thinking. Because if we don't eliminate that way of thinking, it's only going to keep putting us in the same situation. And this is where I'm at with Thug, hoping that he's not just like his brother. Because his brother got out, was out there. I only think he was probably out for a couple weeks. And we're going to be honest. I think he was only out there for a couple weeks. That's it. And got locked right back up with the gun. And got 9 years. Now, pay attention to this. He was so anxious to get out, he couldn't sustain being on probation. And he got locked up within a couple of weeks. If he would have sat in jail for 5 to 6 more months, he would have got out on probation with everybody else. And maybe he wouldn't have to carry a gun. You hear what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to wait. Sometimes it's not good to rush. And in his situation, he rushed the gun and got more time than everybody. Pay attention to that. Because the one guy that tried to flip with the plea deal just now, he got 5 years. You understand what I'm saying? So the judge was lenient with some people, but I think that guy came back in front of Judge Glanville while Judge Glanville was already in an uproar. He was already tuned up. So I'm hoping Thug understands that my brother went out there, played around with these people. I cannot play around with them. I cannot possess a firearm. That's what's real important. You know, Thug used to carry in them straps. You want to protect yourself. You in the hood, Cleveland Avenue. But he had to understand that you cannot have no firearms. Pay attention out there now. There's a lot of dudes that will be locked up for gun charges, get out, and go right out there, scrape up some money to get a gun. Pay attention to that. I don't understand that. Why would you be locked up for a gun and get out and then want to scrape up the money to get your sentence together again? Pay attention to that. You get locked up for a gun, do some time, get out, scrape up some money, and now you want to walk around with a 5-year sentence in your pocket. Like, come on, man. You got that much beef? If you got that much beef in that area, you need to move. You hear me? If you got that much beef in the area, you need to move, man. You said, do you think Dirk? He said, do you think they traded Lil Durk? Oh, or do you think they or they not correlation? I mean, it could be. You hear me? They could have traded Dirk. That's why I said it's election time. It's that time of the year. So they gave somebody up and then they pulled somebody out. They know the world wanted to see Thug come home. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Everybody knows that the world wanted to see Thug come home. All major platforms were saying it across the world. Man, Thug should be found not guilty. He should be come on Breakfast Club, all of them, right? So they could have did that. Bring Thug home. We already know Dirk is cooked. So if we bring Thug home, it's going to calm down. Nobody's thinking about Dirk right now. Not today. You hear me? Dirk's not in the conversation today. The conversation is Thug coming out. And think about that. That conversation is going to be for the entire week. We missed all the other stuff now. Now all we thinking about is Thug's out. So we're going to see, and I want to tell y'all this and be honest, and I'm being honest. One of those candidates are going to grab Thug. Pay attention now. This is the game. Now, they talked about Thug doing all this crazy stuff across the world, right? In Atlanta snapping. Out here, wherever he was at snapping, right? But I guarantee you, one of these people are going to grab Thug as the face of something to try to get our attention. Pay attention, man. This is the game. Because I think right now, they don't feel they got our attention the way they think they should. That's my opinion. So I really think one of them going to get him. And that would be real funny for one of them to grab Thug, being as though that he was in this situation, to put him as a representative. Pay attention to the game now. They might put Thug as a representative to stand behind him to get the people. These are the games now. What y'all think, man? I think it can happen. I really think it can happen, man. Because right now it's like a dog fight out there. And we got to be real. With the stuff going on right now, it's a dog fight out there. We don't know who's winning. 1 minute they saying this person's winning. Next minute they're saying somebody else is winning. And we don't know. So at this point in the last week, somebody's going to hit below the belt, man. I mean, it just happens. And Thug coming home, somebody in their camp, in one of those camps, or maybe even both camps, right now is saying, we got to get Young Thug. Somebody's in this camp that's running for next week is saying, we might need to get Thug as the face. And Thug's going to do it with whoever. I just got out. I'm not biased to anybody right now. I just got out. I'm riding the wave. I'm in the wave. I have to ride the wave. You are not going to get me to choose sides. So whoever is going to say they need me, I have to support. I really think, and especially either candidate, either one, he has to go with. And that's just my personal opinion. You know, what y'all think? Do y'all think they're going to try to grab him up? Do y'all think they're going to be like, no, we not messing with Thug? I think they're going to get him, though. They need that face, especially from the people. They want the people to say, Thug supporting you? All right, we supporting you. Just pay attention to the game. They want the people to say, Thug supporting you? All right, we going to support you. Pay attention to the game, man. They going to use Thug to be the face of something. We got a week left. Thug is just coming home. Beat the Rico. What? Beat the Rico. I don't know how it works in Atlanta courts, but, you know, in some courts, they let you leave right there. Like, you know, in the federal, they let you leave right there. I know in some states, they make you go back and process before they let you out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they do in Atlanta, if they let him walk out the courthouse. Because in some states, they make you go back. In the federal, you can come pick your stuff up later, I guess. You know, so I've known somebody that walked straight out. I think he's going to go live tonight. I definitely, straight from his Instagram. I definitely think he's going to go live from his Instagram tonight. And I don't think it's going to be long, but I think it'll be like something short. You feel what I'm saying? Let the people know, because he know he has a lot of fans and people been looking and waiting for him to come home, man. You know what I'm saying? I covered a lot of the trial. You know what I'm saying? I gave my opinion on a lot of the trial. You feel me? It was some days I thought he was cooked, and it was some days I thought he got him. Both ways. You know, but as the trial went on later, I knew, I was like, he got him now. I knew it. That's why I kept saying he got him. But I did say, I made a live yesterday, if y'all go back and check it, where I said he better take the plea. I said he better take this plea deal. He has to take it if they give him something reasonable of a 5-year plea deal. And that's what they came with him with time served. So I did hit that one on the head. You know what I'm saying? I hit that one dead on the head, man. Real rap. Thug back though, man. I'm happy for bro. I like really say, yo, that's what's up, bro. You rocked. You took that. You went to war. Cause some people wouldn't be able to hold up in that situation, man. And we got to be real. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that wouldn't have been able to hold up in that situation. They would have been losing weight, sick. Thug was in there gaining weight. You heard me? So some people wouldn't have been able to hold up. That's how you know he was probably stressed to a point, but he wasn't stressing. It's a different when you have stress and stressing. That's the continuing part. I'm sure he had some stress. Then you can't deny that, because the man was in there facing life on the line, and he know he have all these people testifying. So yeah, but you can tell that he wasn't stressing as I'm losing weight. Yeah, he can't. He can't go to the Metro Cleveland Avenue. He can go, I guess, around Atlanta for business, but he can't go Cleveland Avenue, and he can't go to Atlanta for 48 hours. So for the first 2 days, he can't go because they already know. And they said that's coming from the Census Bureau. So somewhere heavier, wherever they said he can't go to Atlanta for 48 hours because this first 2 days, if he goes home tonight, it's going to be people getting hurt, trampled over. It's going to be a zoo if Thug goes to Atlanta tonight. If he go to Atlanta tonight, it's going to be a zoo, man. And we got to be real about that. So they put that stipulation on him. You can't go for 48 hours. So you know they're going to try to sneak him out the jail. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to sneak him out the jail because it's gonna be a lot of people waiting for him. You know? And I'm sure he's gonna want to go home and get himself some cheeks. Bro been down 2.5 years. I don't know if he was able to make a move inside of there, but he been down 2.5 years. So I know he can go home and be able to enjoy Mariah. And I just was talking earlier. I just was talking earlier about Mariah holding it down for him while he's locked up. And he coming home today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, you don't know too many women that would have done that, man. Like, I really think she held it down for him because you haven't heard anything about her. So it's like, bro got, a good one. But now let's see though, honestly, like, cause a lot of broads wouldn't hold in there because they would think that when you got out, you would crap on them. You would treat him like crap. So we're gonna see how he treats her when he gets out. You hear me? You think he gonna leave ATL for good? He should. And this is my personal opinion, because what else can he do in there but get in trouble? Now, you can go feed the hood when you want, but you can't do nothing but getting in trouble, man. You have to leave certain areas when you make those certain heights, because even if you're not in the area like that, the people that from the area are going to be trying to like touch you and get in touch with you, and they're going to bring that street energy around you. And I just hope that bro keep his distance. This out right here, I am really hoping bro understand that this out was crazy. This out was the biggest out you can get in your life. You understand what I'm saying? This is like escaping death. We have to be honest with that. This is like escaping death. They was trying to give him a life sentence. This was like escaping death alive. You just sitting there, you can't move. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like that. Can't leave. So he has to be like grateful and play his cards right, man. That's what it's about, man. We all gonna make mistakes. We all go through things. But you got to play those cards and know how to get back. You understand what I'm saying? We all going to go through things, man. And that's why I always say it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that subscribe button too, man. I always say it's not about the setback. It's about the get back, because we are all going to have setbacks in life. But that's not what it's about. It's about the get back. People will try to sit in those setbacks and sit in them, but you got to shake them off, man. Get it off me. It's about the get back. You know what I'm saying? For my peoples out there, man. In this situation here, Thug was set back 2.5 years, and now he on the get back. But bro got to understand, you got an out. Because it was a time I seen a video, right, with him in the airport talking slick to one of the ladies in the airport, talking about the bag and how much money he got. You still got to be humble, because I'm sure while he was going through this proceeding, that person was saying, this is his karma. That's how life goes. I'm sure that person was saying, this is his karma because of how he treated me in the airport. But you got to be mindful, man. We all go through things, man. But you got to be mindful how you treat people. And on his get back, he needs to respect that you got an out. You were blessed. It's not too many people that get blessed this way, man. And we're going to be real in this situation, man. I'm happy for bro, man. This was like something they thought was never going to come. They said YSL had the longest trial in Atlanta's history with all these defendants on it. So I'm happy for bro, man. And this situation, bro better learn from it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what y'all think, though? Is Thug gonna turn up this weekend, man? And not in Atlanta. I'm talking about on live, man. He got to turn up on live, because I'm sure for the first day or two, you want to enjoy a house, somewhere to chill. He said, can he be around Little Baby and them? He can't be around no affiliates of the gangs. I do know that. If they in the gang, he can't be around them unless it's business. He can do records with gang members, but he can't be around them unless it's just business. And he got to wear an ankle monitor everywhere he go. Yeah, he did take this one on the chin. He did take this one on the chin. Yeah, and in my opinion, he had to. That's my opinion now. In my opinion, he had to take this plea. It was no other way. It was no other way he was going to get through this situation. Because they was going to retry him, and you got to understand, if they would have retried him, right, they were going to fix the mistakes they made. So he might have been able to get this case won on an appeal, but they were going to come back. And does he really want to sit another 2, 3, 4 years trying to fight? Yeah, I'm sure he would have got this back on the appeal. Now, I'm going to keep that real. I think he would have eventually got an appeal on this situation and got this overturned, even if they would have convicted him. But it was about, did he want to go through that process? And that right there, and we got to be real, that right there makes a lot of people take them pleas in jail. They don't want to sit there and wait to go to court. So they like, I'm about to go home. And it's a lot of people that have gotten their first felony charge that way. It's a lot of people that have been convicted and became convicted felons because they took that plea because they wanted to go home. Yeah, he on the ankle monitor for 3 years. Pay attention to that. It's people that been fighting the case, might have been in there 6 months, 9 months in jail, but they really want to go home. And they might can beat this case, but the case might take 6 more months. So they'll take a deal and plead guilty to their first felony charge, right? And then then be able to go home and end up violating. But this is how they get a lot of people to plead to their first felony. Yeah, we'll let you go home, knowing you're going to go out there and indulge in the same thing because you really didn't get no lesson from it. So yeah, all right, I'm on probation. I'm going to go back out there. Pay attention to that now. It's been a lot of first-time offenders convicted for that. Some of them, they gave like the first-time offenders program knowing that you're going to get out there and mess that up. Got to pay attention to that. It's a game, man. And I'm hoping Thug understands that you got an out. You got the biggest out in America right now. We got to be real. And I think Tory might be next. We got to keep it a beam with that. But Thug got the biggest out in this situation, man. That's what we seeing. We seeing Thug got the biggest out, man. He the only one that got probation in this situation that got sentenced out of these people that got to go home. You know, they gave all the other guys those pleas earlier to testify to go home. Thug took a plea and got to go home too. And Rich Homie Quan died. Now that's deep. Thug got the plea and got to go home, and Rich Homie Quan died, man. That would have been fire. If they would have just said, let's just make a album, Rich Homie Quan, Gunna, and Thug, that would have been crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. That would have been crazy. Gang had to change his music, and that's good for the kids in the world. Well, others will follow. Word, bro. Real rap, man. It's good, man, because the influence is just crazy with the music, bro. It's just crazy. It's like kids really think that's what's supposed to happen. So I'm happy for that, man. Bro can send a different message. He can let him know that this right here is supposed to be for entertainment. And I made a short, right? a couple days ago and said the music is supposed to be for us to bob our heads, not to get out there and want to get busy. Because you know it's some of them type people that they put the music on to go do rah-rah. I need to get hyped up to go do what I'm about to do. It's people like that. And that shouldn't be, man. Come on, man. Got to reframe the game, man. Once we start trying to reframe the game and reframe the game with the people around us, it might help. At least the people around you. You can't help everybody, man. But the main thing is keep yourself out of these situations. That's the main thing. We have to keep ourselves out of these situations, understanding how we got into this situation. And that's what we got to understand. You have to understand how you got in this situation. And Thug got in this situation because he wanted to go to war with YFN Lucci, man. Understanding that. Thug put himself in this situation because he wanted to go to war with Lucci. Because they was on a different label. He wanted to take over Atlanta. I'm sure he got to recognize that this wasn't the way. We got to start understanding that this ain't the way before we go that way, though. Come on, man. Let's be real with that, man. Let's be real, man. Can we be real with that, man? We got to understand that, man. Yeah. Let's not go that way, man. It's going to send us in the wrong direction. Let's pay attention to the game, man. It's crazy, man. We got to be mindful, man. We got to be mindful, man. It's easy to put yourself in a situation, right? But it's hard to get out every single time. It's like a lot of times we be throwing rocks at the prison like they don't got a bed for us or something, man. Come on, man. Let's think about that, man. A lot of times we be out here throwing rocks at the prison like they don't got room in there or something. Like they ran out of space. Let's keep that a beam, man. How do we throw rocks at this joint like they ran out of space? Come on, man. Let's be real with that, man. In this situation, Thug got a major out and hoping that he appreciates it. Respect that you got another shot at life. Not everybody going to get that opportunity out here. It's a lot of people that fell victim to the gangs and the game. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that didn't get that shot to take that plea to probation and was able to walk free. It's a lot of people, man. You got to respect when you got to out and appreciate that, man. Because everybody's not getting those outs. The game is going to take you down every time, man. Thug told his lawyer he can't fight another 3 months because his kids and his family hurting in medical issues. And that's real. That's real because I know one of his baby moms got killed. I'm sure some of his family members is going through things because he's been in there so long. Bro definitely got to make sure he on point, because if he's not on point, they are waiting. I'm talking about they sitting down expecting him to mess up. It's a bird eye on Thug right now. The eye is on him. They want to make sure that he abides by every rule tooth and comb. They not playing no games, man. And I hope bro understand that this is the time to get back, man. This is the time to tighten up. Make sure you apply the pressure and stay out the way. This is the biggest out he could have got for his life. If he does not take advantage of this situation, they're going to annihilate him. Straight up. They're not playing if he comes back in front of them like he don't care. This is a big outfit, bro. And I'm happy for him and respect that he get a chance to come back because he almost didn't make it back in the game. The game of life is so short, right? Before you know it, you in a higher level stage of life. He 32 right now. Them people would have played with him and gave him the elbow. He would have been fighting. He might have got out when he was 50-something. Oh, Woody said, thank you, God, Thug home. Man, Woody the reason why Thug in the situation, though. That's the crazy thing. The man said, thank you, Thug home. And I'm sure he was asking, no, he messed up. You didn't put all this stuff on that man because you was in them situations. And now, Woody done got lit, right? But you better understand, when Thug get home, Woody's dropped, his money's going to go down. Everybody's not going to be as concerned with Woody after Thug gets out. Everybody wants to see Woody now because Thug is in that situation. His character. I guarantee you Woody, his vibe is going to go down. The energy is going to change. Because you got to know, those people that said Woody did the right thing, now Thug's home, they're going to probably want to ride with Thug. Oh yeah, Thug. So you better know that the people will turn on you now. He think the people is with him at this moment. The people will turn on you. He said, thank God Thug home. Boy, I tell you. Woody snapped with that one. I'm sure Thug don't ever want to see Woody in the passing. You hear me? Hey, Thug first show. Gonna be $100,000 at least. Might be $250. It could be $500. Or even a honey bun, $1 million. It could be crazy. What you think it's gonna be, bro? It could be crazy. First day, yeah. Because Thug, I think he was getting $250 a show before. So yeah, it might be a ticket. Yeah, it might be a ticket on this one, bro. Yeah. You saying that, yeah. He might charge a ticket. Because he gonna sell the arena out. You hear me? It's gonna be crazy. You know it's gonna be a movie. And it's crazy how we gravitate to the negativity so much. It's exciting to see somebody get through something like this. You hear me? Because the odds is crazy. The odds of somebody getting through this is real crazy. So it's real exciting when you see something like this. And I ain't even going cap. When somebody get through something like this, it's like, yeah, bro made it. Because most of the time you being counted out. You hear me? Most of the time they thinking that it's over for you. You don't got a shot. You feel me? 250, 500. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be crazy. Might be like 500. For real. Because you know he's going to sell it out crazy. He beat the Rico, man. Ain't too many people beat the Rico, man. You hear me? When they pick you up with that, it's like they stuck it straight to you. So it's like, I'm happy for bro. 500 too. Thug is on a mission. I would be too. If I, you know what I'm saying? If I got out being down 2.5, you feel what I'm saying, and went to trial, I would be happy too. You know what I'm saying? Excited, ready to get that money. Focused. And just hoping bro don't get out there and want to pop the pills, because we already seen it, and we got to be real. We seen this. He got past the pill inside the courtroom, man. So I'm hoping, and that was only a couple months ago, man. So I'm hoping bro don't come with that wave and try to think he can beat these piss tests. Because you know a lot of dudes get on probation, right? A lot of them. They get on probation and they think that they have the ability to beat the urine test. You understand what I'm saying? That's a situation right now. In his situation, I wouldn't even try. You know, if somebody got some light 90-day probation, they might try. But he got a 40-year probation. I would never try to beat the urines in this. So hopefully he don't get out there trying to pop a pill and think that he's able to finagle the urine and that be something to send him back. He came home the right time for the holidays to spend with his family. I know he happy as, hey, bro, super. At this current time, right before the holidays, Thanksgiving, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, my God. I'm excited for bro, man. For real. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. It's your boy DZ, you know what I'm saying? We about to get out of here. We're going to come back live in a little bit, man. And we're going to come back and talk about that Megan Thee Stallion joint, man. I was supposed to get back on here and talk about it now. We're going to come back in a little bit, man. We're going to take a little break. And we're going to get in tune to some things that I got to get in for myself. And we're going to get back, man. I appreciate everybody that watches the channel. I appreciate everybody that subscribes. Man, we growing. We almost to 3K subscribers. And you already know your boy keep it real. So, man, I appreciate anybody that share the content. And make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. I want to let y'all know it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now. Your boy DZ in the building.